Oh, we gotta reset that. I don't like how my video camera looking. Nah, I selected the wrong one. That's on me. Where we at? Webcam. You serious? Somebody call me? Oh, oh, it's letting me know I'm streaming. That's what's up. I'm trying to reset my webcam, y'all. Shit going crazy. Uh, video capture device. I don't think I even got one of those on here. Let me add it in. Video capture device as source. As source. Hey. Now I'm gonna have to delete this thing right here. But yeah, we're gonna delete this. Because I don't even got my video capture device in here. I'm gonna just reset my stuff. It won't really nothing to y'all. All I gotta do is resize it. Let me deactivate it and activate it again. Damn, I'm all the way close to the camera. But here we go. This is why dark skinned actors refuse to film with Tyler Perry. I ain't gonna lie, if you a black skinned actor and you in a Tyler Perry movie, you either gonna be the villain that everybody hate, or that one black guy from Daddy's Little Girls. That's all it is, bro. You gonna be the guy that abused women. I like where the logic
Mr. Perry comes in, everything changes. So we literally run the entire episode for him, and he hates it. Does that mean I have to learn a whole new script? Yes, that's what it means.
The man is trash. I'm just...
Let me take this.
I'm not a type.
That's a Twitter user that decided to publicly address Tyler Perry's films, expressing her dissatisfaction with what she perceived as racial bias in his work. Her critique did not end there, though, because she still had this to say.
I'm not a Tyler Perry fan, so this is what I got to say. It's funny how he got all this money to do everything but the right thing.
The woman asserted that Tyler Perry harbors a fear of white people, which she believed was influencing his creative choices and decisions. And apparently, her sentiment is widely shared, with many black actors narrating their experiences and saying they won't work with Perry again, like this one here.
And they said they loved the script, but they wasn't sure how the film was going to turn out, so they passed.
These videos imply that there might be a hidden truth beneath the surface, so the question arises, what could be Tyler Perry's secret that has led some dark-skinned actors to decline working with him?
If you're working on a regular network show, they take a whole week to film an episode. Tyler Perry Studios, they film an episode in one day.
There's no denying that Tyler Perry has made a significant impact, having risen to prominence in the Atlanta theater scene and achieving box office success with his Medea series. However, Perry's journey has not been without controversy. Rumors have circulated, suggesting that Perry's ego expanded to such an extent that he clashed with even someone as influential as Oprah. In the competitive world of Hollywood, it's often challenging to advance without resorting to a few questionable tactics, and Tyler Perry appears to be no exception.
And when I'm hearing all this noise, man, it was crazy because there were no black people on television. Before diversity became a thing, Tyler Perry was the only one out there for a long time.
Following his success at the box office, Tyler Perry ventured into television with his popular sitcom House of Pain. However, during negotiations for a lucrative syndication deal and a spin-off series called Meet the Browns, a controversy arose. Deadline reported that Perry fired 4 writers who had requested union contracts, creating a contentious situation in the industry. Writer Terry Jackson told Deadline, "We were good enough to create over 100 episodes, but now when it comes to reaping the benefits of the show being syndicated and having other spin-offs from it, he decided to let us go unless we accept a horrible offer." Tyler Perry's response to the writer's room dispute was to take matters into his own hands by stating that he now personally writes everything. However, Perry's issues with unions extended beyond the writer's room. In 2015, actor unions SAG-AFTRA and Actors Equity took action by prohibiting their members from participating in Perry's stage play, Medea on the Run, due to his production company's refusal to sign union contracts. While Perry may be focused on maximizing profits, his methods have not garnered unanimous approval from everyone in the industry.
There's a camera on you, baby.
There's a camera on me right now?
Back behind you.
Oh, hello, praise the Lord. We'd like to tell everybody in Dallas that we are on our way. Thank you.
In the wake of the success of House of Pain and Meet the Browns, African-American journalist and cultural critic Jamila Lemieux penned an open letter to Tyler Perry, which was published by NPR.
Why is it all
In
black
her
people?
letter, Lemieux expressed her discomfort with Perry's use of stereotypes in his work. She wrote, "Through her, the country has laughed at one of the most important members of the black community, Mother Dear, the beloved matriarch. I just can't quite get with seeing Mother Dear played by a 6'3" man with prosthetic breasts flopping in the wind. Our mothers and grandmothers deserve much more than that. Heck, our fathers and grandfathers deserve more. Mr. Perry, you have told the Hollywood old guard to kiss your backside, and I appreciate that, brother, but many black folks have expressed some of the very same attitudes about your work that white critics have. Acclaimed film director Spike Lee is one of the notable figures who criticized Tyler Perry for his use of stereotypical characters in his work. Lee is well known for openly addressing this issue with Perry.
I still think a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery buffoonery. And I know it's making a lot of money.
Spike Lee went on to suggest that because of these stereotypical movies, individuals like Tyler Perry were breaking records. In his view, the industry could do better by avoiding such biased and nonsensical movies that featured designated one-dimensional characters.
Breaking records, but we could do better.
We're talking about Tyler Perry at this point.
Tyler Perry's approach to casting and character portrayal has become noticeable to viewers, leading to discussions about his business strategy. Some individuals argue that Perry tends to cast dark-skinned actors in villainous roles while portraying white-skinned individuals as heroes in his movies and shows. This perception has generated discussion and debate within his audience.
Pitiful black woman being abused by a no-good, dark-skinned man, and then saved and rescued by the perfect light-skinned man.
During an event, Chris Rock also pointed out
Don't
the
tell me
recurring
she was
theme in
right.
Tyler Perry's movies, noting that there is often a limited portrayal of kind and respectful black-skinned boyfriends in Perry's films. He supported his statement by referencing Tupac Shakur, suggesting that Perry's films could offer a broader range of character representation. He said, "Tupac might be a political leader if he was alive, but then again, Tupac might be in a Tyler Perry movie right now, so you don't know. He might be. Tupac might be the bad, dark-skinned boyfriend in the Tyler Perry movie." Chris Rock's point was that Tupac was a highly renowned and popular rapper during his time. However, if Tupac were given the opportunity to appear in a Tyler Perry movie, Rock believed there would be a minimal chance that Tupac would not be cast as a heroic character based on Perry's typical casting patterns. He further went on, saying, "I would hope he's a senator, but he might be kicking Jill Scott down a flight of stairs. In Tyler Perry movies, there's
Jill
always, okay." Chris Rock's perspective
crazy.
aligned
Wow.
with Spike Lee's
Wow,
criticism,
crazy.
emphasizing that some
Interesting.
prominent movies may achieve success because of Tyler Perry's perceived biased casting and storytelling choices. Both Rock and Lee raised concerns about the impact of such ideology on the film industry.
We're talking about Tyler Perry at this point. No, I mean,
I ain't gonna lie. I thought this video would be different. I didn't know it would be a bunch of black people just commenting. Nah, that's kind of weird. Let's watch something else, man. Seems like it's just black people yelling at black people. Let's see. I made a. Okay, not that one. No matching. I'm just looking around, reading stuff. Okay. Corey in the jailhouse. Kyle Massey charged for allegedly sending pics to 13-year-old. Bro, how you end up doing that? That's crazy. Roman Reigns dressed over by females. I mean, it's Roman Reigns. Now features only in the Wii version of WWE SmackDown. I'm just out here reading, y'all. Just seeing what we got. Okay, I think we're gonna. Let's watch this. This one is like. I think.
Basketball is back. Watch the action
You see how
live
many
on a
minutes
variety of
this is?
networks with
This is
What's up? Spider Paladin here.
10
Marvel
minutes.
Spider-Man 2 has given us a lot more insight and information on the Insomniac Spider-Man universe, including things like where his villains have been, like Sandman and Mysterio, and some of Peter's early life. It's all really cool, but where the hell is Taskmaster? One of the biggest mysteries from the first game is Taskmaster. Just a quick summary of his role in that game. Taskmaster set up challenges around the city to test Spider-Man because somebody hired him to see if he was worth recruiting. Look at this cutscene.
School's out, Taskmaster. Why are you stalking me?
An organization hired me to see if you're worth recruiting.
I'd rather be Jonah Jameson's foot masseur than work for anyone who'd hire you.
Your loss. They pay 6 figures. Guess some people just deserve to be poor.
6 figures? Nah.
The big mystery is the
Yeah, he could have
organization
used that money.
who hired him.
For sure,
I made a
for
video
sure.
touching on this topic before, but I wanted to make a new, solely focused, updated video on the topic because we now have a new game, Marvel Spider-Man 2, which in theory should give us more information, right? Right? Well, not exactly. You see, Taskmaster isn't in the game at all, other than the introduction of Kraven. You can see when Kraven gets info from his guy here about New York being his new hunting ground, showing a bunch of people in New York, one of which is Taskmaster. Now, this scene takes place 6 months before the events of the game starts, but it shows that Taskmaster was at least present in New York at that point. But as we saw in the rest of the game, he's not present at all. Where did he go? Well, we don't know. But before we talk about the second game, let's
Maybe
discuss
he in
things
the
we know about him in
DLC,
the first game.
like
So,
Football was.
Taskmaster. He set up challenges around the city, like I said, to test Spider-Man to see if he was worth recruiting for whoever hired him. The only information we get for whoever hired him is that the company that did would have paid Spidey 6 figures, which is a lot of money. It's kind of funny how Peter actually contemplates the choice here for a second until finally saying no. Anyways, the only thing we know
Why
about the
would he
company who hired
contemplate
Tony
that choice?
is that they're rich, which for being the only info we get about it, doesn't really help since a lot of organizations, if not pretty much all of them in the Marvel Universe, are pretty much rich, right?
Right.
And keep in mind, everything at this point
Yeah,
is
Iron
all
Man just
speculation
walking
because we
around.
don't have an answer. None at all. Just what we can infer at this point. Okay, so that's the basic story of Taskmaster in Spider-Man 1. Now, let's fast forward to Spider-Man 2. And we really don't get anything for him in the game. The only bit of information we can go off of is that Kraven introduction scene. In this scene, we see that one of his henchmen shows him New York as a new hunting ground for him, and we get to see the targets they put in New York for him to potentially capture. We see that everyone here on this list is actually in the game, except for Taskmaster, who is on the list but is not in the game. Also, just as a side note, he may have been around Brooklyn just based off his marker on the thing here, just something to note. It's just really weird. Why show us Taskmaster on this list if he's not going to be in the game, you know? Now, keep in mind, this cutscene takes place 6 months prior to the events of the game, like we said, so Taskmaster could have definitely left before then, or perhaps during that 6-month period, they did actually interact at some point and fight, who knows. Now, Kraven was shown to be extremely powerful in this game. This honestly might be the strongest version of Kraven we've ever seen of the character. He killed Scorpion, Shocker, Vulture, and Elektra, which surprised me the most. However, Taskmaster is a different kind of fighter from those guys with his own abilities. I do think Tony definitely has more of a chance against this Kraven, considering this Taskmaster fought the Avengers before, so he definitely has a lot of combat experience. But we just don't
Oh yeah,
know.
that is right.
Maybe
In the Marvel
Taskmaster
Avengers
knew
game.
Kraven was on his way and decided
Yeah.
to leave New York before any potential dangerous situation could
But
happen.
I think he
I mean,
only
Taskmaster
faced,
can get that kind of intel, right? So it is possible.
Black Widow.
Ultimately, we don't know what happened to Taskmaster.
And Hulk.
Maybe Kraven and Taskmaster did fight
I
at some
wouldn't say
point.
that's the all
Maybe
these
Taskmaster just fled from New York.
He didn't
No idea.
interact with
There's
Iron
also the
Man or
question of
Thor.
what Taskmaster was still doing in New York during this time. Taskmaster goes wherever his next job sends him to, so what was he still doing in New York? Was it to possibly still spy on Peter? Maybe spy on
Maybe he
Miles
was about
this
to
time?
get out.
That's another question that came to mind as well when I was looking more into it. I mean, Insomniac had to have intentionally put Taskmaster here for a reason, right? Otherwise, why would you just place him here if he's not going to be in the game? And I touched on it briefly, but it is strange he's the only person here on the list of targets we see that is not present in the game. Everyone else on this list is in the game in some shape.
Oh yeah, that must be.
Makes me think that maybe we'll see him in a DLC or a sequel, maybe, because this is a question that I think needs to be answered.
I hope we
My
get
personal
more than
plan
one
for
DLC.
what I think happened was that Kraven was trying to hunt down Taskmaster.
I was hoping the next
that part
DLC would
isn't
come
really
out
a
in
theory.
December.
This device he has pretty much shows us that
But it's
Kraven
December
did put
now. We
Taskmaster
haven't
on
got
his list of people to hunt.
nothing to,
so yes, he was trying to hunt Taskmaster, but somehow ended up failing. One possible way is that Taskmaster was out of New York or too difficult to catch. I mean, just based off how Kraven acted in the game, he didn't exert too much energy trying to catch people who were too much of a hassle, like Sandman or Doc Ock, for example, who were securely locked up. He really just went for people that were easier, like Scorpion and Mr. Negative,
who would have
who were
thought
being
that the
transported.
Spider-Man game
So maybe Taskmaster
just came out
just
on
left New
October
York, so
20th.
Kraven was just like, screw it, and didn't bother
December now.
catching him. Or a
Hopefully
fight
it's
did
something
occur,
else.
with it presumably ending in a stalemate or
Even though
Taskmaster
they're
somehow winning
focusing
or
on
leaving.
Wolverine.
If Kraven did kill Taskmaster, I'm sure we would have seen something in the game showing us, so I doubt if they thought that Kraven actually won. But if Tony beat Kraven, he would likely have killed Kraven there, maybe, which leads me to think it ended
He
in like a
keeps saying
tie,
Tony. Is
or
he
Taskmaster
talking
somehow
about-
just leaving or something. I really hope they elaborate on this, because Tony being the only person on the list we don't really see gets me thinking we'll see him in like a DLC or something, I hope. Now, with that being said, who hired
does he
Taskmaster?
mean Stark? When
There
you
were a
say
lot of
Tony?
theories flying around at who did hire him. I'll touch on some of them and give my input and how
Unless
likely they are or not.
Taskmaster's name is
First of
Tony.
all, the Avengers. People when this game came out were talking about how the Avengers hired Tony to see if Peter was worth, recruiting for the Avengers. One, they wouldn't hire Taskmaster, who's typically seen as a villain. Two, they wouldn't threaten the city. Three, the Avengers seem to have already met Spider-Man in his universe, so they can legit just ask him to join. And four, just use your brain. Makes no sense for the Avengers to be affiliated with Taskmaster.
Why not?
Especially when Taskmaster mentions they fought the Avengers in his universe.
If
So
he's
they're
strong
definitely
enough,
not the people
he'll
who hired him. Another theory I heard is that
take
Otto
Taskmaster
Octavius
out.
could have hired Spider-Man as well, due to Taskmaster saying six figures, as in figures like a person, as in perhaps the Sinister Six, which also doesn't make much sense to me. Taskmaster clearly was talking about money here, and why would he hire Spider-Man if he knows Spidey won't side with him and knows Peter's identity, right? None of that makes sense. I just
He
wanted to
does-
bring it
he
up
does
because I heard
make
people talk
money.
about it, but I don't think it's Otto Octavius
Why wouldn't he
or
do
the
it for
Sinister
money?
Six. Now, something I did want to
Save
talk
on
about
May.
was that Otto actually has connections with the Marvel organization of AIM. You can see AIM boxes around Otto's lab. He most likely called them for the favors he mentioned in the story. AIM, or Advanced Idea Mechanics, is typically an evil organization in the Marvel Universe, usually associated with Hydra, and is famous for creating the villain MODOK. Now, other than that, I don't think AIM is the ones who hired Taskmaster. I mean, maybe they did, anything's possible. Like, maybe they hired Taskmaster to get some intel on Spidey and see if they can use his powers to their advantage. I'm not sure, but it's something interesting to think about. Again, I don't think AIM would do this kind of thing, but it is cool that they're establishing the universe. Now, one I think is more possible is S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, I think S.H.I.E.L.D. is more likely to do this kind of thing. Why, you may ask?
I thought it
Well,
might
in
have
some
been
versions
S.H.I.E.L.D.
of Taskmaster, he was
Like,
actually
maybe
a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent,
so
he already has a direct correlation
I
with
was
that
gonna say
group
that.
in that regard. And while Tony is seen as a villain, he is technically a mercenary, which is kind of different, I guess. Maybe S.H.I.E.L.D. told Taskmaster to see if they can hire Spidey, but Taskmaster went about it in a more twisted and dangerous way. Maybe. There's also the fact that Peter's parents in some versions used to be former S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Peter mentions in
when
this
was
game
that?
that his parents were government agents, so maybe S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to keep an eye on Spider-Man
I
for
thought it
a
was just
specific
his
reason,
father was a
which would
government
also
agent.
mean that S.H.I.E.L.D. knows Spider-Man's identity as Peter
Richard
Parker,
Parker.
but that goes down a whole rabbit hole. But yes, I think this one makes more sense than the others and can actually be used as an interesting plotline if they ever explore it, which I kind of doubt they ever will, but like I said, nothing's impossible. S.H.I.E.L.D. has been known to be morally questionable at times, especially Nick Fury. So, who knows? Who knows? Now, the last one I wanted to touch on was Oscorp, and I think this is my best guess on who hired him. I think Oscorp makes a lot of sense when you think about it. When you play through the MJ mission inside Norman's home, you can see that there's papers that are trying to study and understand Spider-Man's powers. Maybe Norman Osborn tried hiring Taskmaster to recruit Spider-Man for this particular reason. Maybe he was trying to recruit him to see if his powers can help with a cure for Harry. This is all just speculation, but Oscorp is rich and is affiliated with Spider-Man, so it makes sense from a Spidey universe perspective. I think if they never explore the Taskmaster mystery again and just wanted to get it over with, a simple line of Norman saying, "I hire Taskmaster," would just be a cheap cop-out, but a cop-out nonetheless that just makes sense. So I think Oscorp makes the most sense in my opinion. And I could go on and keep talking about who hired him, but you get the point now. It's all speculation. We really don't have any concrete evidence as far as I'm aware of. However, stay with me on this. I have a theory that's backed up by absolutely nothing, but I just wanted to throw this in here. What if Taskmaster is in the next Wolverine game Insomniac's making? Wolverine is confirmed to be in the same universe as Marvel's Spider-Man, and is also slated to come out next year, apparently. What if Taskmaster is the one person connecting the two games? Because Taskmaster is the kind of character that just goes to whatever superhero story he needs to be in, and he could be an interesting boss fight for Wolverine potentially. And then what if Insomniac makes another superhero game like Daredevil, and Tony is in there as well, connecting it even more and so on, and yeah, this is most likely not the case, but hey, it's just a theory.
Bro,
Anyways, that's all I really have on the subject of game theory. I told you it's all speculation, but I really hope at some point Insomniac touches on this and at least gives us some kind of answer. It would seem kind of weird if they didn't, but at the same time, it wasn't the most important thing. So who knows?
A lawyer?
Let me know what you think, though, and who you think hired Taskmaster and why.
Blind?
Please support the video and channel if you want. I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Stay safe, and peace.
I kind of want to see this. I know I probably should have ended it. I wanted to see this.
JD Power now ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses
I just
purchased in
started
store.
Arkham
Visit
Knight.
sleepnumber.com
It's
to learn
pretty
more.
cool. It's nice.
Check out these deals of the week at Walgreens.
What's up? Today we have a little bit more of a controversial and shaky video today, I guess. Yeah, so the topic is, should the Arkhamverse Batman continue without Kevin Conroy? I'm saying it's a shaky video because my intention in this video is in no way whatsoever to offend anyone or downplay Kevin Conroy and try to make him feel irrelevant anyway.
I love his
Definitely
voice,
not the
man.
case. I only bring
Kevin
that up
Conroy's
because,
voice for,
I mean, you know how the internet can be, right? But I can't help but
I
think about
just
these kinds of
watched,
things. And I know I
Batman
can't
Beyond.
be the only one thinking about this kind of...
I hate trying to talk when they talking. But I just finished Batman Beyond, and I've been hearing his voice so much that, like, when I hear it in the Batman Arkham games, it just, I don't know, it just sounds right. Like that. I like it. The old man Batman, I didn't think I would like him, but I do. He's nice.
Question? There's obviously going to be people here saying like, no, how can you even ask this question, blah, 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 but whatever. It's just a topic I wanted to discuss peacefully, I guess. So yeah, let's just talk about it. Right off the bat, Kevin Conroy is Batman, period. If you've seen or know anything Batman related, you likely heard his name before. Before anybody else for me, there was Kevin Conroy, and no one can ever replace that. And I mean nobody. I need to establish that he's a voice I hear when I read Batman in comic books, or when I just think about the character.
Then he broke his arm.
And you know, there's obviously other people that portray Batman great as well, but Kevin Conroy is who a lot of people grew up with, so him passing hit me like a truck. I did not expect him to go so soon. It affected me personally. Outside the animated series with him, the Arkham series with him was something I grew up with too.
I was amazed that you get
right?
this through
Those
so
games
early.
were dialed to 11 for me.
I think in like your
Batman
first
again.
mission you get
the
this
Arkham
through.
games are my favorite games to have ever been made. It inspired me to create a YouTube channel talking about it, and Kevin Conroy was a huge factor in all of that. Now this video is talking about if the Arkhamverse should continue without Kevin Conroy, because realistically, they're gonna make animated movies of Batman without him. They already are with the Tomorrowverse movies with Jensen Ackles, who is a great voice actor, by the way. The live action movies, obviously, too, and comic books are comic books. They don't need an actor. The Arkham universe is like the only current
still going,
active kind of
Kevin
universe
Conroy
that's still
type
being
way.
expanded upon with new games and stuff.
Maybe
with Kevin
he's
Conroy
already
in
done.
It, considering we have the Suicide
I don't
Squad
think
Killer
that's
Justice
really
League game
what
coming
they
up that's
do,
supposed
though.
to be his last time voicing Batman, since he recorded lines for the game before his unfortunate passing. So yeah, with that being known,
I feel like he
it's
might have
only really
recorded
the
all his lines.
Arkhamverse in question if it should continue without him, since everything else Batman related nowadays, like I mentioned before, are filled up by other actors. And, you know, thinking about this kind of question, it makes me realize that I kind of have a selfish side, I guess you can say, because on one hand, I love this world and I would love to see it expand, but a part of me knows that it just doesn't feel right without Kevin Conroy. And, you know, it's kind of selfish because, I mean, I'm thinking about a fictional world that I want to be continued. I don't know if selfish is the right word, but you know what I mean. But it's hard to let go of something that's honestly almost been there for half my life, which is kind of insane to think about. Kevin Conroy made that world for me as he did for a lot of other people. You can't find a review about the game without someone praising him. He was legit just perfect. People aren't just saying that, like he was actually Batman. With the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game coming up, that will be his last time voicing the character, like I said. Maybe in that game, they'll find an in-universe way to have it be Batman's last appearance, like him passing away in the game or him giving the mantle to somebody else. I'm not sure, but if the game ends with a character of Batman being fine, being available for the next game, then people are going to start asking, right? Will there be another Batman Arkham game, or will there be another just Batman game, whatever? It's inevitable that's going to happen eventually, and personally, I've never had the pleasure of talking to Kevin Conroy, never got to see him at a convention or something, so I don't know him, obviously.
I wondered
but
if
from
he
what
ever
people have told me,
want to
from
give
what
him
I
the
have heard and seen
mantle
on the internet,
before
he
he
seems like the
died.
most genuine guy
And maybe he
in
did
the
a
world, and he
scene
obviously cared about Batman a lot.
where he
It wasn't
did.
just a paycheck to him. He loved Batman just as much as the fans do.
Like,
so
maybe he was
knowing
talking
that,
to Robin,
I would like to think that he would
saying
want
he
his
could no
fans to
longer
carry
do
on
this.
and enjoy the
He
character
passed
as a sort of
his
legacy thing.
cow
Maybe he would
once
want the
again.
Arkham universe to continue because
That
of how
could be
much it
nice.
means to people, right? But on our end, we don't want it to continue without Kevin Conroy, so it's just kind of like that crappy situation. And I also wanted to, of course, talk about Mark Hamill. He stated that without Kevin Conroy, he does not want to play the Joker anymore. And I 100% completely respect and understand his choice here. Am I sad about it? Obviously, but I get it. Pretty much everything I said about Kevin Conroy's Batman, same
I
goes for
love
Mark
Mark
Hamill here.
Hamill.
He was the perfect Joker. So
He's
it
very
is sad
nice.
to hear this, but I think everyone can
Wasn't
understand
he,
and of course respect his choice here.
Luke
Now, I
Skywalker?
touched on my own thoughts briefly, but
I
let's
think
talk
he
about
was.
what I think.
I just wanna
and
make
this is
sure.
just my thought process. I'm in no way better than anybody else, obviously. While it wouldn't be the same without Kevin Conroy voicing Batman in the Arkhamverse, I personally would like to see the universe continue. My thought process here is I would think Kevin Conroy, based on what I have heard of him, would be the kind of person to want people to enjoy the character and carry on the legacy and cherish the work he was involved in. And with that mindset, I don't think it would be disrespectful to continue the story in any way towards him. Something else I wanted to bring up is that the Arkhamverse has so many characters and stories to explore. Make a Superman game, make a Nightwing game, Flash game. There's a lot to work with here, right? So even if Rocksteady makes the decision to not continue with Batman, doesn't mean they can't make other games for
So
other
yeah,
heroes
he's
in the
heavily
universe
involved with
necessarily.
Star Wars.
But I know it's more so about Arkham Batman, and should he
He was in
continue to
Child's
exist
Play, he
without
was in
Kevin
that
Conroy?
comedian play.
Honestly, I think I would like to see
Englishman.
Arkham Batman continue. There's a lot of people that wouldn't, and there's obviously going to be a huge hole there seeing an Arkham Batman without Kevin Conroy voicing him, yes.
I think he
But I would
was.
think he would want his character to continue, and I don't think it's wrong to think that too. Ultimately, that is a choice by Rocksteady. If they want to continue on with Batman,
I gotta
in this
check
universe, then,
something
you know,
out.
that's a
It just
long
came
time
to
away
me.
if they ever need to make that choice. The way I see it, it's not to replace Kevin Conroy, but to carry on his legacy, like I said. And seeing it in that light makes it a little better. We had another Batman voice actor in this universe voice him after all, Roger Craig Smith, who did a great job. So there is a possibility there. But if Arkham Batman's story does end here, it'll be something that I completely understand and respect. And let me reiterate by saying if the Arkham Batman does end here, then I wouldn't even be mad about it. I just wanted to see other people's opinions outside of Twitter because Twitter isn't necessarily a healthy source of information. I feel the majority of people don't want Arkham Batman to continue without Kevin Conroy, which, you know, makes perfect sense. My whole thought process here is that if they do move forward with Arkham Batman with another voice actor, I feel it wouldn't tarnish the Kevin Conroy legacy in any way, rather just pass it on to someone else who will treat the character with
He
just
was
as
on
much
the
respect as
Flash.
Kevin Conroy did.
Mark Hamill.
It's not a black and white thing necessarily where it's just the next person's paycheck, but just a possibility that I wouldn't mind seeing. In fact, I think I would prefer it. The Arkham universe was built with Kevin Conroy, and while his character here did have a conclusion with Arkham Knight, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League can change that potentially, but that's all speculation. But yeah, moving on with the character with someone else is something I would be open to, but would be happy if they chose not to as well. I guess my main concern is how Batman is handled in the next game here, and what his status will be. If he dies, okay, then we don't need another voice actor, but I doubt they kill off Batman in the next game. It just seems unlikely. My guess is that the game ends with Batman alive and well because, you know, it's Batman, right? As corny as that sounds. I don't think any Justice League member will die in the next game despite the name. So assuming he's okay, what are we supposed to make of that? Or will the game actually end with him not being able to be Batman anymore?
Maybe they kill
saying?
Green
I'm
Lantern.
just speculating here.
They could
but
kill Green
if he is
Lantern.
okay, then yeah. A
And
new
then
voice
another
actor is
Green Lantern.
always in the
The ring
realm of
goes to
possibility.
somebody
Should
else.
they continue with the character? Or, you know, a
I hope they
prequel
don't kill
game
the
with
Flash.
Roger Craig Smith would honestly probably be the best route considering he is the quote-unquote prequel Batman in this universe, right? So I guess that makes the most sense there. I know I'm kind of digressing here, but my point here is that there are possibilities. And I'm not sure if there's a similar precedent to this where someone takes over the voice of a character from somebody else due to unfortunate passing. If there is, let me know, because that can help to put things into perspective, or just for me to see if it has been a thing before or not. And I do feel like I might be in the minority here when I say that I would like for Arkham Batman to continue. It's more so something I'm just open to, more so than other people. I don't think having a new voice actor would make us forget about what made the Arkham Batman amazing in the first place with Kevin Conroy. I don't think having a new voice actor would make people genuinely upset or angry either. The Arkham community, I would say, isn't as toxic as other communities are. I mean, there's definitely questionable things like the Arkham subreddit, but I wouldn't say that's toxic, you know? For the most part, even if people don't agree with moving on with Arkham Batman, I don't think there would be people coming out of the woodshed yelling and just losing it, right? I think people would respect the choice. But that's just me. I can't say that for sure because I can't speak for anyone else, but that's just what I would like to assume. That's all I have to say on the topic. Yes, I would want to see Arkham Batman's legacy be carried on, is the best way I can put it. I hope I don't offend anyone with my opinion. I know I'm likely not, but it's the internet, and you know how the internet opinions can be. I know there's a lot of people that want the Arkham Batman to end, and I completely respect that as well. I wouldn't be mad about it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Please make sure to be respectful in the comments as you let people know what your opinion is, because I am curious. But yes, be respectful. Should Arkham Batman continue, yes or no? Let me know what you think, and as always, stay safe, and peace.
Thank y'all for watching.